નમસ્કાર, હું આદર્શ છું. વેલકમ ટુ આદર્શ એજ્યુકેશન સોસાયટી. Welcome students to 6th part of 14th chapter Water of 6th Science. In the last part, we discussed that wherever there is a water, let it be in the sunlight, let it be in the shade, the process of evaporation takes place every time. The process is very slow, so that we cannot see that. But vapor used to add to the air throughout the day, every time where there is a water. That is what we discussed in the last time, and to understand that we did an activity also. We understand one activity also, and I hope you also might have did that activity at your home also. And in the end of that last part, there was a question. What it was the question? Is there any process through which water vapor gets transformed into air? From the everywhere there is a water, from that water vapor gets transformed into air. Okay. Any other process is there? Let's try to understand. Loss of water by plants. You have learnt in chapter 7. We already learned this. You have learned in chapter 7 that plants need water to grow. Plants need water to grow. Then plants use a part of this water to prepare their food. Plants use a part of this water to prepare their food and retain some of it in their different parts. So whatever the plant takes water from the land, that soil, then what happens, some of the part it used to prepare its food, and the else some of the part retains of it in their different parts. Then remaining part of this water is released by the plant into air. Some of it used to prepare food, some of the water it retains to different parts of its body, and the else water released by plant into air as water vapor through the process of transpiration, released into air as the process through the process of transpiration. Do you remember observing transpiration of water by plants in activity 4 in chapter 7? We discussed that chapter, that activity also, through which we could understand that the plants release the water as water vapor through the process of transpiration. Water vapor enters the air through the process of evaporation and transpiration. So now we come to know that water vapor enters the air through the process of, one of the processes evaporation and the second process is transpiration. Is it lost forever? Is it lost forever? No, we get it back again. So what is the going to do? See, water becomes vapor in the air through evaporation, through transpiration. Then that loss of water through the water vapor, is it forever? Is it not that we will get once again? Okay, so is it lost forever? No, we get it back again, as we will see. We get it back again also. Okay, so before going further, on the previous page number 139, there is very important thing which Gujo says. So once again come to page number 139. 39, you can see Bujo is there. Bujo has been reading about transpiration. He asked himself how much water is lost through transpiration by wheat plants that give us 1 kilogram of wheat. See, what Bujo asked himself, it is very important, very different thing, that how much water is lost through transpiration by wheat plants that give us 1 kilogram of wheat. Now let me tell you, only one plant of wheat cannot give 1 kilogram of wheat. For that, many plants of wheat requires. But how much water lost by the plants of wheat which gives us 1 kilogram of wheat? So many plants are there. Okay. Now there is answer also. He found out that this is nearly 500 liters. That is roughly 25 large buckets, large sized buckets. 500 liters of water transpirated by the wheat plants. Now, how many is the 500 liters of water? Then it is 25 large buckets. 25 large sized buckets means the capacity of the one bucket is 20 liters. That means 25 large sized buckets, that is the water is 500 liters. Roughly 25 large sized buckets full of water. Can you now imagine the amount of water lost by plants of all the forests, crops and grasslands together? Now we can understand the transpiration process and loss of water through transpiration by the plants of, think about the forest, all the plants in the forest, then crops and grasslands together. Think how many liters of water must be evaporated by the process of transpiration. That is too much, let me tell you, too much. Okay, now, so let's try to understand how are clouds formed. For that, there is an activity 3. So the aim of the activity is that to show that how clouds are formed. See, today we will discuss this activity from this only. Then after, in the next part, we will once again discuss this activity through the textbook also. Okay. So, to show that, what is the aim of the activity is to show that how clouds are formed. And the material, the procedure, let's see in the textbook. Take a glass half filled with water. What you will do? Take a glass half filled with water. You can see in the picture also, in the figure also. Wipe the glass from the outside with a clean piece of cloth. Second thing, what you will do? Wipe a glass from the outside with a clean piece of cloth. Add some ice to the water. Then add some ice to the water. Wait for 1 or 2 minutes. And then you have to wait for 1 or 2 minutes. Observe the changes that takes place on the outer surface of the glass. First of all, what we do? We take a half glass of water. Then we wipe outside and clean that outside surface of the glass, and we add some ice into the water and then wait for 1 or 2 minutes. Observe the change take place on the outer surface of the glass. Now what happens actually? In fact, there is, you will be able to see the small droplets of water outside the glass. So the observation is what? Water droplets can be seen on the outer surface of the glass tumbler. We can see you must have seen that also when you are drinking some cold drink. At that time, or the outer side of the cup of the ice cream also, you must have seen that droplets after some time. From where do water drops appear on the outer side of the glass? Then there should be a question now. Then from where do water drops appear on the outer side of the glass? The cold surface of the glass containing iced water, that we know. We put water and ice into that, and that is why the cold surface, the surface of the glass also becomes cold because of the ice. So the cold surface of the glass containing ice water cools the air around it. Cools the air around it. So this is our conclusion. What happens? The cold surface of the glass containing ice water cools the air around it, and the water vapor of the air condenses on the surface of the glass. So this is the process of condensation. You must be aware of the process of condensation. What is condensation? The water vapor becomes into or converts into water. The conversion of water vapor into water is a process of condensation. Now see this once again. See, the surface of the glass containing ice water cools the air around it, and the water vapor of the air condenses on the surface of the glass. We noticed this process of condensation in activity 7 in chapter 5. Okay, so this process of condensation plays an important role in bringing water back to the surface of the earth. So we come to know that the process of condensation happens on the outer side of the glass when the cool water was inside the glass. As the surface of that glass was cold, and hence the vapor available in the air condensed on that surface. That's what we come to know, and this process of condensation plays an important role in bringing water back to the surface of earth. With this, we are ending this part. Now think about how that condensation process plays an important role to get back the water on the surface of the earth. Think about it. With this, we are ending this part, and we'll discuss this question, this process in the next part. Thank you. Thank you for joining us. Take care of yourselves, and we'll meet you in the next session. Thank you.